Whoops. Let's do this. And welcome, folks. This is Sherman Ray, Black Success Magazine, the podcast. And we are broadcasting live from Las Vegas, where we talk about the people, the places, and the trends to feed your mind, your body, and your spirit. Today, we're actually going to talk a little bit about emotional intelligence. I'm very excited about that. It's a subject that I've never spoken about on this show before, but one that I think you're going to really enjoy. So very excited about that. Black Success Magazine is brought to you each and every day, and we can turn that off. Yeah, we can turn that off. Black Success Magazine is brought to you each and every day. We talk about all kinds of stuff on the show. We talk about people, we talk about trends, talk about business, a lot of business, and especially the people who make the whole thing go. I mean, really do. It's one of the things I do here in Las Vegas is I do a lot of consulting, and I do a lot of mentoring of business owners, which it's one of my passions. It really is. I've been doing it for many, many years. And when you get to do what I do for a living, you just kind of, you just get fun. It's fun. And when you get to talk about a subject like emotional intelligence, which is different than being just intelligent, you start saying to yourself, this is pretty cool. So before we get started though, I just got an award yesterday. Oh, it's back in the corner. You can't see it, but I'll bring it up in the break or something like that. But I did a speech over at one of the construction companies here in town. And what it was that they were talking about diversity in their business. And so one of the things I did is I was asked to come in and talk a little bit about diversity and my viewpoint on it. And so I know the owner of the company. That's the thing about it, is I actually know the owner of the company. And one of the other chambers went over and spoke to their organization. And he said, Sherman, I'd really like you to come over and talk a little bit about what you think about, diversity and everything else. So I did that. I spent probably a good 2 hours with him, which was fun. My first time ever talking about diversity. And so at the end of it, had a lot of Q&A, a lot of back and forth. They asked me to come back a few more times, which is going to be cool. I'm very excited about that because I'd love to really begin to speak a little bit more on diversity in the marketplace. But they sent me a gift, which is really nice. I really enjoyed that. So it's really just a nice pen and pencil set. So it's back in the back. What I'll do is in the break, I'll go get it. I was planning on showing you guys right when we first started, but yeah, it is what it is. So happy Friday to everybody. Yay, we made it to a Friday. One of the things that I think will be an encouragement to you is they just got back some numbers for the GDP, or gross domestic product. And we know that 2020 has been like this, right? Everybody's hating it. But in 2019, the Black community, Black business, Black entrepreneurship has been like here. I mean, we were, if we just talk about us as a people, $13 trillion economy, $13 trillion economy, which puts us at, no, I was wrong. So I'm going to double check my figures here. But if you look at the economy, the Black economy, if we were a country to ourselves, just the American Black economy, we would be the 13th largest country in the world. Yeah, we would have the 13th largest economy, just the Black economy. And so we were flying. 2019, just flying. I mean, entrepreneurship was here, especially women. Women are just on fire, which is awesome. So 2020 comes along, and everything gets basically just a big hammer comes down on everybody, and it's just killing everybody. But the economy is coming back now at the end of 2020. 33%, I believe it was. Let me. This was on a CNBC report. In the third quarter, 33.1% growth. Okay, 33.1%. What does that mean? It means that we are poised for a comeback, folks. So we're going to talk a little bit about that when we come back. This is Sherman Wright, Black Success Magazine, the podcast, and we'll be back in just a minute, folks. And I'm going to show you guys this thing that I got here. So let me get that for you. Oh yeah. Okay. I don't know. It's actually pretty cool. I'll show everybody about it. All right. All right, let's get back to the show because I don't want to waste your time today, folks. It's Friday. So much to do today. And we're going to have a good time today. All right. All right, folks, and we are back. This is Sherman Wright, Black Success Magazine, the podcast where we speak about the people, the places, and the trends to feed your mind, your body, and your spirit. It's a Friday. So excited about it. If you like what you're hearing on Black Success Magazine, go over to our website, which is blacksuccessmagazine.com, and you can check us out. We will also be uploading our podcast, which you can get on Spotify. Literally, I've seen our podcast all over, not just America. We've seen it all over the world, which is just encouraging. I thank you, everybody who's sharing our podcasts all over the world. And so I can't even give you a number of how many people are actually listening to it because I was just doing kind of a search and just saying, hey, well, who's listening to the podcast? You don't really know. Half the time you just don't know. They give you, numbers and they say, hey, this is how much people are listening to you. But I saw our podcast in like Romania. I saw it in Paris. I've seen it in Australia where people are listening to our podcast. And why? Because there's Black entrepreneurs all over the world and they want to hear about what good things are going on within, the Black community. So very excited about it. So before we get started about talking about emotional intelligence, because we really want to talk about that, and we're going to talk about 5 simple questions that you ask yourself to see if you're, to see how high a level of emotional intelligence you have. I want to show you something real quick. So I was speaking, and I'm going to give them props now. So it was Penta. So I think some of you can see that. Yeah. And hopefully it's not backwards. But Penta is a large construction company here in Las Vegas. One of the largest, I would argue. And so I know the owner of the company, and he and I've had lunch together, and we've had he and I and a couple of another guy named Jim Rhodes. You probably heard of him here in Las Vegas. Owns Rhodes Ranch. So we're having lunch and we're talking. Great guys. I mean, just really great guys. Love the Black community. Love business. And really are just encouraging what we're doing here. So they asked me to come over, speak to their company about what they're doing, about diversity. And so this is what they sent me. Can you see that? I'm going to put that up here real quick. Okay. Hope you guys can see that on YouTube too. Okay. So that is kind of comes in a really neat box. So it's a pen. These are like really high quality pens and stuff like that. So anyways, I wanted to show that to you. So, I think we'll throw. No, we don't throw that. But thank you, folks, over at Penta for allowing me to come by. I looking forward to come back by and speaking to you on diversity in the workplace. So let's get to this article, okay? So this article is about emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is not about being emotional, okay? There's a lot of people who are very smart. They're book smart, really book smart. But how do you translate that into dealing with people? Okay. There's a lot of people, read a lot of books, but when they get in front of people, they can't relate with people. So emotional intelligence, I'll just put it in kind of a generic form, is basically the marriage of interpersonal relationships with book smarts. Okay. How can you deal with people with all of that knowledge in your head? Okay. So that's what it is. So there's 5 questions that you might want to ask yourself to see how high a level of emotional intelligence you are, or how you can connect the book smarts with the being able to talk with people. Here's number one. Number one, do you openly share what you're feeling? Okay, do you openly share what you're feeling? Some leaders are not comfortable expressing all of their emotions. Okay, like me, I don't want to cry all the time. No, I'm not talking about yelling expletives down the hall with unrestrained anger when something goes south. What I mean is showing up with emotionally honesty by speaking your truth. This could be sharing good news, bad news, facing conflict with someone violates or facing conflict when someone violates trust. So many of us are afraid of being vulnerable because of several factors: fear, uncertainty, or lack of confidence. Very good. When we put on a mask that hides who we truly are, which shows up in counterproductive ways like false charisma, micromanagement, or people pleasing. I hate being a people pleaser. As a matter of fact, I'm probably one of the worst people pleasers there are, because people go, "Well, sure, you definitely have your views on things," and I go, "Well, yeah," and I'm probably not going to change just because I'm not here to please you. I'm here to help you. That's what my job is. I'm here to help you, and if you don't like it, then that's there's somebody who wants that to be very successful, and I'm here for that person. So that's number one. Number two, okay, yeah, we got time. Do you practice self-control? A leader with emotional intelligence is able to redirect disruptive emotions and impulses and not jump to any hasty conclusions. Like when you walk into a room and something went wrong and you just go, "Ta, ta, ta, ta," and you start pointing your finger at people. Okay. No, a person with emotional intelligence will sit back and go, so let's figure out why that happened. And then I'll go, no, just don't do that. Okay. Number 3, are you visible to others? During the pandemic, leaders with high degrees of emotional intelligence don't hide behind their computer screens and devices or conveniently delegate important communication needs to others. They are highly visible, sharing plans for the future and addressing questions and concerns to calm fears and apprehensions. It's very good. Employees look to such leaders for information, clear expectations of what's going on when the chips are down. So really, hiding is not going to do you any good. Okay, leaders with high emotional intelligence are out front. They're always out front. They're at the front of the ship as the waves are crashing in. Number 4, do you run towards conflict instead of away from it? Okay. Let's accept the fact that conflict is unavoidable when human beings are involved. Rather than being passive aggressive and conflict avoidant, leaders with emotional intelligence courageously run towards the eye of the storm. Woo-hoo. They're keenly aware that cutting through conflict and with active listening skills to understand the other person is a much faster solution to resolving an issue than the negative consequences of running away from conflict. Very good. Don't run away from it. Even though it doesn't hurt as much as when you run away from it, right? Okay. All right. Number 5. So we did, yeah. Okay. I got just enough time to do number 5. It's do you seek understanding? Do you seek understanding? It's crucially important to explore the why of how others feel and strive to see things from their perspective, not just your own. Slowing down and trying to grasp an understanding of, you notice how I slowed down as I was even speaking? Slowing down and trying to grasp an understanding of other people's day-to-day and how a shift to remote work may be affecting their performance and well-being is a critical lesson in exploring the why in people's stories. By seeking meaning and understanding, it will allow you to provide your fellow employees and coworkers with a solution that they need. Interesting. Emotional intelligence. It's really kind of the marriage. So it's the marriage of this book smart stuff, all the stuff you read and stuff like that, all the books and all the notes you take, into your interpersonal relationships with people. Because really, at the end of the day, you're going to have to work with people all the time. And it is very easy to just be dismissive and say, okay, I'm the smartest guy in the world and I'm the smartest, person in the room, and dismiss people's emotions. But you can't. I mean, and you also don't want to go overboard and say, okay, now I'm going to sit there as a, Dr. Spock all day long and try to, oh, something happened here. I'm getting messages like all day long. And you can't be Dr. Spock and sit there, all day long and going, yes, let me psychoanalyze everything you're doing. But you have to slow down. Instead of jumping to conclusions, instead of just jumping off of the train tracks and just, bulldozing your way through, you've got to slow down a little bit. And that's really important. Cool. All right. So when we come back, folks, we got more cool stuff we want to talk about. This is Sherman Ray, Black Success Magazine, the podcast, and we'll be back. Just a minute, folks. You guys like my pen? Did you like that? This is really pretty cool. It comes in like this wood box. It's real wood. I might use this. Okay. All right. Well, this morning is just going by so quick. Let's get back to the show. All right, folks. And we are back. This is Sherman Ray, Black Success Magazine, the podcast. Brought to you each and every day of the week, Monday through Friday. It's about 8:30 in the morning here on Pacific Standard Time. You can listen to the podcast that we have up. You can hear it on Spotify, Google Podcast. You can you really get it all over the place. Just kind of Google it. Google Black Success or Black Success Magazine. Either one of those, it'll come up. We're very excited about the fact that so many people are listening to the podcast, which is really cool. We're working on generating even more and more articles for the for our website. As a matter of fact, we got a new website that's going to be up and running here pretty soon. Been working on that for a number of weeks now, so that should be up. So in our last segment, we were talking about emotional intelligence, but I think one of the things that we spend a lot of time talking about business, interpersonal stuff, self-help kind of stuff. And one of the things that we want to kind of continue to and do is encourage you is that there was the third quarter GDP numbers came out. And once again, I cannot, I can't downplay this. Okay. 33.1% is the largest number historically in our nation's history, where things are jumping back in America. Are things great in America? Oh, heck no. No, it's not. There's a lot of people out of work, a lot of people just going back to work. But this is the interesting thing about it is that America is poised, especially Black America, is poised to do some incredible things. So I do articles about, things that are happening in the Black community every day, all day long. And so I get to see what people are doing all the time. There was a lady, and here I'll tell you, and we post this on our Facebook page all the time, and we do it on Instagram. So we've got a really cool Instagram page. There's a lady who, here it goes. So she created, and this is a feel-good story, and I'll do this really quick. a black-owned company, a woman-owned company, created the first pajama line featuring children of color. Isn't that cool? So this is cool. In Atlanta, um, what is the name of it? Dreams and Dreams and Jammies LLC. So they came out with a line of clothing, um, and it's a bunch of it's kids clothes. It's cute. Come on, they got these little girls with little puffs on their head, and they're nothing cuter. Little black kids, little puffs, right? You know what I'm talking about. I'll tell you that. And they're just cute. And they've got their little pink jammy jams on and stuff like that. And so even in the midst of a pandemic, great things are happening. Not just little things, but great things are happening. If we keep our eye on the prize is really about moving forward, and you and us in the business and the personal development sphere. This is our job. This is our calling in life. Our calling is to do with what we've got. And I had this really revelation this morning. There's certain people who do certain things in life. Our job is to be the engine that drives the Black economy. And that's really something that we've got to really focus on. Because if we don't do this, folks, nobody's going to do it. If everybody's kind of doing one thing, nothing's going to happen. So our job is really to do that. So my job is to make you aware of all the things that are going on. And there's some great, just truly great things. So once again, the name of this company is called Dreams and Jammies. Dreams and Jammies. So there's some, and let's focus on the women just for a little bit, okay? There's a article that I saw in bodybuildingmagazine.com. So bodybuilding.com. Are we gonna have time for it? We are. All right. I'm going to give you the lead in. I'll give you a little tease on it. But when we come back in, we're going to talk about women and lifting and getting in shape. Many of you know that I ride like nobody's business. As a matter of fact, my bike was in the shop for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It was just terrible. So I gained like 20 pounds because I eat a lot. And you forget that you can't eat and not work out too. Right. So when we come back, we're going to talk about some of the common mistakes women make when they go into the gym. And because, you've got to keep up. You just got to keep your body, going. So when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about that. This is Sherman Wright, Black Success Magazine podcast. Back in a second. Uh-oh. What was that? I had a hiccup. Okay. Oh my gosh, scroll's like, okay. All right, I'm going to move this camera just a little bit because it's really kind of bugging me there. There we go. I think that's a little bit. I'll let you see my bike over there in the corner. All right. All right, we are back, folks. This is Sherman Wright, Black Success Magazine podcast. We were, I was telling everybody about a pen set I just got from Penta Construction. And the reason why I bring that up is because, you know what, it's very cool. It's cool to get some encouragement from people, and they're going, hey, you know what, Sherman, we really enjoy what you're doing. Thank you so much for being a part of what we were doing here in our diversity thing. So, and once again, I'll show everybody once again, because I just a little bit. Oh, there it goes. Oh, there it goes. Okay, that's enough. But Penta sent this to me, so I want to really thank these guys for for doing that. It was very nice. It was very nice. They sent me a note and they said, "Hey, we'd like to send you something," which is cool. Let's talk a little bit about women working out. Okay, this especially right now, we're coming towards the holiday season. Holiday season, when it comes up, folks, what do? We eat a lot. We have family. Well, we probably won't have family coming over because of the lockdowns and stuff like that, but we're probably still going to eat. As a matter of fact, my wife was telling me that my wife's an interior designer. And so what she was telling me about is that all these reps come in and they bring all this chocolate and really bad food for you. And so she's like gobbling it up, So working out and just staying in shape is probably going to be most really important to people. So we really got to start thinking about this even more and more. So let's talk a little bit about women working out, that kind of thing. Nothing wrong with a really strong woman, and because you're in it for the long haul. That's really what we're here for. We're in for the long haul. Well, we're not going to be flashing the pan. Anyways, we'll just go there. Okay. So let's talk about some things that women need to avoid when they go in the gym, especially right now, because you want to go into the gym a lot. I ride 5 days out of the week. So 5 out of 7 days, I am riding my bike, putting in, I used to put in about 30 miles a day. Now I'm actually much lower, because I'm riding up hills all the time. So I'm doing a lot of hill work, just building up my resistance that way. So number one, avoid resist. A lot of women avoid resistance training. The first thing most female clients tell her, and this is the lady who's, what's her name? Forgot her name on this too. Stephanie Cohen. And Stephanie is like one of these little balls of fire. She said a lot of women come in and they say, "Hey, I don't want to get too bulky." As if they think that being bulky is going to be really easy to do. It's really not that easy to do. There are people who spend their entire lives chasing the gains and the elusive pump, only to live forever small. Lifting little pink dumbbells to gain strength is the equivalent of doing jumping jacks to improve your mile time. Ain't gonna happen, she says. Excuse me. So let's set some things straight once for all. The only way you're going to end up looking bulky is if you consistently increase your calorie intake and begin eating in a calorie surplus, or if you take testosterone, the male muscle building hormone. So she says it ain't going to happen. You're just not going to get big like that, ladies. So don't avoid lifting weights because you think you're going to get big. Now, it's funny because my pastor's wife has got guns. I mean, she's got guns, not like little girl guns, like guy guns, and everybody, when they see it, they go, "Oh my gosh, look at her arms. She's just got these arms." It's because she really works out. So she's doing something a little different. Her body makeup is a little different, but most women are probably never going to get that way. Okay. So resistance training improves your bone density, makes you feel strong and confident, increases your muscle density, allows you to help people, move random heavy objects. So it's really just going to make you a better person. So women, don't avoid lifting weights. It's just so much better for you. So number 2, doing too much cardio for all the wrong reasons. Okay. Doing too much cardio. The hope with a lot of cardio is that the cardio gods will magically help tone you up. I love how she writes. Why do I place that in quotations? Because I'm quoting millions of women who use that term without truly understanding what it means. What they actually mean when they say, "I want to tone up," is that they want to add muscle mass and decrease body fat. Okay. So most women, when they do cardio, they do it because they actually want muscle mass. They want to reduce the fat. So they're doing the cardio for the wrong reasons. Okay. Don't be scared to admit it. The elliptical stationary bike, the Stairmaster are great pieces of equipment that can help you expend a ton of calories, but it won't really shape your body the way you're envisioning it will. Okay. So when you see those commercials with these women on there that have got these, they're looking shredded and stuff like that, they didn't get it from being on a bike. Even though I do it because I want to reduce the calorie intake I have. Okay. Because I eat so badly. Okay. Anyways, let's do this. We'll finish this up on the other side. But Very good article. So this Sherman A. Black Success Magazine, the podcast. We'll be back. Give us a second. All right. Sorry about that. We're running along here, folks. I can start talking. Okay. Excuse me. And thank you, folks, for being a part of the show today. Really enjoy it. We're almost done with the show today. Wow. Okay, cool. Bum, bum, bum. I got this light coming in right here behind me, folks. And it's like right on my big bald spot on my head. So sorry about that. Getting some new lighting next week, so I'm very excited about that. I think it'll help things out a little bit. So, okay, let's get back here, folks. We'll finish up the show here. I thank you guys all so much about being a part of the show today. All right. Excuse me. This is Sherman A. Black Success Magazine, the podcast. Friday. Thank you so much for Friday, folks. You know, I've been running along on every segment here today, folks. And I want to apologize for that because, you know, I just start talking. And I think what we'll do is we're going to have to try to figure out another way to do this because I love to talk and I love to talk about certain subjects. So we'll have to do something. I have to do something to make this work out a little bit better because I think there's a lot of great information we can actually share with you. In the last segment, we were talking a little bit about women lifting weights. And something happened there. Hope I didn't lose power. Okay. Looks like I lost power or I lost lighting someplace. So I'm going to do this. Okay. No, it looks like we're still good. Women and lifting weights. And so there's kind of this misnomer that, that's why. Okay. So we're back, folks. Now I know what happened is I was pushing buttons all over the place and I pushed the wrong button trying to get things back in gear. So in the last segment, we were talking a little bit about women lifting weights and how a lot of women do things, excuse me, they do things for the wrong reasons. They might be doing lifting, thinking that they're going to get bulky when it's probably not going to happen, or they're doing cardio for the wrong reasons. And I didn't finish up the particular article or the particular segment. And they're saying that a lot of women want to have, and this is a big thing now, is a lot of women are looking more at their buttocks, as we men are looking at their buttocks. But they're thinking that if they go out and they do a lot of cardio, that it's going to make and it's going to tone that their glutes. And they said, and this article says, no, it's actually going to make it tougher. It's going to make it tougher for you because you're doing the cardio, which is you're reducing the fat, but you need some of that. You're not building muscle. You're doing the cardio thinking it's going to build muscle, but it's not. And you need to do other things to build the muscle around your buttocks to make it look sculpted and firm. So number three mistake, or the third mistake, is fearing intensity. Most women make the mistake of lifting too light for too many reps. That beats watching cartoons and eating ice cream, but it's not the most productive use of your time. Okay. So she's saying, no, don't do 100 reps of, 5. She's saying something else. Lifting moderate to heavy weights should be a part of everyone's training plan for many reasons. It's a necessary part of process of getting stronger and building bigger muscles. It's okay to grunt, she says. It's okay to sweat. It's okay to have a messy bun that when you're working out. There's nothing more empowering than owning a heavy set of barbells. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. So again, lifting heavy weights won't make you look bulky, and excess of calories will. Aha. See? An excess of calories will make you look bulky. So if you're, if you're eating, food that's just not good for you, it's going to definitely do that. So as I sit up taller, right? So I know. Anyways, when we get back next week, so we're out of time. When we get back next week, I want to talk a little bit more about the economy. Want to talk a little bit more about how you as a business owner can position yourself for the upcoming wave that's going to happen in America. I really believe that we're going to see an uptick in the Black economy, and you need to position your business for that. You need to position your mind for that. And that's where we're going to be at. So anyways, I want to thank you all for being a part of the show today, folks. We'll see you again Monday for Black Success Magazine, the podcast. Check us out on our website, blacksuccessmagazine.com. That's blacksuccessmagazine.com. If you'd like to write to me, blacksuccessmagazine@gmail.com. It's been Sherman Ray. We will talk to you again next week. Bye-bye. All right. And thank you, folks, for being a part of the show today. We will see you again next week on Black Success Magazine podcast, Monday through Friday, 8:30 in the morning Pacific Standard Time. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.